Hi, welcome to the absolutely stunning Aphrodite Hills Golf Resort here in Cyprus. My name is Chris Ryan and today's video is all about fixing the dreaded underneath and then over the top golf swing, which I know many of you have struggled with in the past or may well still be struggling with at the moment. So when we see the golfers make this move, and it's quite a significant move, we can often see this, through the naked eye without the use of any high-speed cameras. We see the golf club going too much what would be classed as inside or under in the backswing. The golfer then has to make an attempt to recover that, and they very often come from a very steep over the top position. They cut across it, they very often hit poor strikes, they lose a lot of distance, and they very often hit those big slices that can sort of cost them the shots on that hole. So we're going to try and fix that with a thought process all around the elbows. So we're looking at, in the golf swing, where is my trail elbow relative to my lead elbow? So in my case, it's my right elbow relative to my left elbow. Now, if I take my setup to this golf ball and I make the move that we're trying to avoid, in the backswing, you can see there that the club has gone very much inside and very, very low. Now, from the front on camera, you'll notice that my trail elbow is significantly lower than my lead elbow. And that's our first kind of checkpoint. So that's my bad swing. From here, I'm probably going to make a recovery movement. And as I start my downswing, you're going to see now how my trail elbow is much, much higher than my lead elbow. So if we make this poor swing, we'd often find that the trail elbow gets too low, and then in the downswing, the trail elbow gets too high. So we're going to try and make some golf swings where we try and reverse that relationship. We're going to try and get the trail elbow higher in the backswing and then lower in the downswing. So if I show you what that might look like, I've only got a mid-iron here. So I'm going to make my half backswing. And you can see how from the down the line camera, I've got that golf club on a much, much steeper angle. Now from the face on camera, you're going to see how my elbow is maybe a little bit higher than my lead elbow. Certainly it's not lower. From there, we can go up to the top. And as I start my downswing, I can start to get my elbow again from the face on camera. You can see how the elbow is lower. And then from the down the line, we get a much more desirable delivery position of the golf club. So trying to reverse that process is going to give you the opposite feels. If you are that golfer who gets the club very much inside in the backswing, gets very, very over the top and steep, swipes across that golf ball, loses all your power and losing all your distance, we can often see the elbows working incorrectly in their golf swing. Now, absolutely nothing wrong with initially taking the golf club out of the equation here and actually just making some golf swings where we start to recognize what those movements might feel like before we introduce the golf club. We've got to try and get the golfer to appreciate what they're trying to do, create some feels, create some understanding, because that's ultimately going to help you when you're on the golf course trying to hit those shots at your target. Just one little point to note. We want to make sure that we're not changing the relationship with the elbows by what the body's doing. You can see how if I early extend my body, that means my hips go into the golf ball and I stand up in my upper body, that could get my trail elbow lower. We want to try and make this move, however, more through what the arms are doing as opposed to what the body's doing. So if you have got a reflection that you can use or a mirror while you're doing it, it makes such a difference because we can start to make these movements a little bit more accurately, and that's going to ultimately leave you in a better place when you're trying to hit the golf ball. Let me have a go. So I am just going to rehearse it. So backswing elbow stays higher, downswing is going to go hopefully a little lower. Okay, now that's something that I tend to work on in my golf game because I do tend to struggle sometimes with what that takeaway does, and certainly I try to feel that the elbow stays a little bit higher, and I find that can often help me into some better positions. So give that drill a go if you are that golfer who struggles with that underneath backswing, over the top downswing. I guarantee you a little bit of practice on that drill and you'll start to create some better moves in your golf swing, and ultimately the ball's going to reflect that and hopefully fly a little bit straighter. Thank you very much for watching. All the usual stuff is down below. That's a like button, that's a comments box, and there's also a link to subscribe to the channel. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and click that link and it'll just mean that you won't miss any of the videos. Big thank you again to Aphrodite Hills for hosting me for a couple of days, and also thank you for Golf Breaks for making this happen. Much appreciated, and hopefully we'll see you back here again soon.